Hey guys, it's Matt with Pungo Tuck. I'm out here with the pigs today. We'll be building a new waterer for the hogs, and I'll be showing you guys how it's built, why we built it, and then I'll show you at the end the demonstration of once it's hooked up and all the pigs using it. So thanks for watching, and like this video. So here's your parts list. You're gonna need 2 half-inch elbows, galvanized piping, 1 half-inch T, 2 couplings, 2 6-inch pieces, 2 12-inch pieces. Now this is coming off an old waterer, and it is a half-inch galvanized to a 3/4 inch hose fitting, and obviously that's where we're going to hook up our hose to it. Now the last thing you need is these pig nipple waterers, and they're very much like what a hamster drinks out of at a hamster wheel. So you'll need 2 of these. Now this is, again, it's gonna be for 2 pig nipple waterer. You can do this with 1, you can do it with 8. It's totally up to you. You'll also need at least a 10-inch adjustable wrench, or a monkey wrench or a pipe wrench, and then a vise. So here's the parts list. One of the first steps you're gonna do is you're gonna take your Teflon tape, you're gonna wrap it around all of the external threads of all your parts. And this is what seals the joint and it keeps it from leaking. So you're gonna wanna make sure you put enough on there that it fills up any of the gaps between the threads. That being said, if you add too much Teflon tape, it will change the outside diameter of your galvanized pipe, and it will not line up with your inside threads. One thing to note on these, and you may not be able to tell, is they're actually tapered in. So the tighter you get them, the better joint you have. Some of our parts, like this waterer, have to be sitting in the correct direction. So it has to sit at the end of the day like this, so that the water will empty onto this tray and the pigs can bite down on the waterer. If it's upside down, the water will just spill out the bottom when they bite up on it, and they won't be able to drink as much water. You'll waste water, you'll create a muddy mess. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're actually going to assemble the waterer here on the vise. This is my first video, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to hold the camera and those sorts of things. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna do the best I can, and we'll go from there. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, I've got my T here. All of my parts have got the Teflon tape on it. These 2 12-inch pieces are not positional. They don't have a positional requirement. So what I can do with these is I can just throw them in the vise, grab my wrench, and snug it. Because they don't require a particular position, it doesn't matter to me whether or not they're lined up in any sort of way. It just matters to me that they're tight. The opposite side of that, I'm gonna put the other 12-inch on there. Again, these are not positional, so it doesn't really matter in what position they're on there as long as they're tight. So we can just go ahead, and if what I'm saying here just doesn't make sense quite yet, you'll understand when I get to the both the elbows and the waterers. But all we're doing right now is making sure that the joints are tight. So in my particular case, the water is going to come here with this pipe, and then the nipples are going to face out. So you can see how it's important that these are 180 degrees from each other. So now that these are on, my 12 inches are on, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my 90-degree elbows. And so here's where it's tight. Right now it's a 90-degree difference. This is up in the air, this is pointing forward. So it's only hand tight. So I'm gonna put it in the vise. Grab my wrench. All right, so I went back and I was doing my video editing and I realized that this next part that I'm gonna show you is actually applicable to any of the joints that you have to tighten. And it references the leverage and how you can use the next piece that you're gonna put on to help you tighten the last piece that you put on. So I set it specifically for the next part, but it'll actually help you with all the rest of the video while you're assembling the parts. So it's a little out of order, but this will help you understand everything kind of that we just went over in the video. All right, so now I've got the water repositioned. The elbows line up. The T part of the T here also is not positional, so we're just gonna put it in the vise. We're gonna use our leverage as our friend, and we're just gonna tighten it down. Now you want these to be real snug. You saw the Teflon tape that was shredded off there just drop out. And there you go, that's snug. So next up, we're going to add the 6-inch pieces onto the ends. There'll be a coupling that goes on there. And then we'll put the... All right, so on this next part, we'll go ahead and take our coupling. Make sure your Teflon tape is on there. Obviously, I did not do that. We'll go ahead and put the nipple on the coupling. You can use your adjustable wrench for the 3/4 inch. For the 3/4 inch nipple, a 1/2 inch wrench will serve your purpose if you have one of those handy. If not, you can use your adjustable. We'll go ahead and hand tighten our 6-inch piece of galvanized pipe. And we'll tighten that into the elbow. So the cool thing about all these different parts is that the more I tighten this, it'll become secure. Once I secure the nipple, it'll become secure to the coupling. The coupling will then start to turn and secure itself to the 6-inch pipe, and then the 6-inch pipe will in turn secure itself to the elbow. So I'm just going to turn this until everything snugs up. And then once it's all snug, I'll turn it until it's in the correct position to keep the bevel towards the floor. I'll flip this around. I'll do the other one to show that. And then once that's all squared away, we've got ourselves a waterer. All right, nipple, Teflon, coupling, Teflon, 6-inch, 90-degree elbow, 1/2 inch wrench, snug, and properly positioned. All right, at this point, your water is essentially built. It's time to mount it, hook it up to water, and let your pigs start drinking. So I'm going to show you what we've come up with a solution to our watering, and then we'll actually put it into demonstration for you. So here we go. All right, so this is our solution to mounting the waterer. We modified a pallet to hold our watering system. With our 1/2 inch conduit clamps, we'll clamp this onto the pallet. We'll hook the watering hose up to the back of it. This will give it a good height for all of our pigs, which includes some pretty small ones and some slightly bigger ones. Now again, this is our solution to this. You can mount this any way you want. But you do want to consider the height of the waterer versus the height of your pigs. You also want to consider the depth of your waterer. If you're going to be using it through a fence or through a wall, if you're going to be going straight and putting your water in your field with your pigs or in your stall with your pigs, that's also a consideration. We've been raising pigs a little over a year, so this is one of the best solutions that we've found. Once I get this all assembled, before we go out to demonstrate it, I'm going to go over some of the problems with this watering. Here's the old waterer. This was a single nipple watering system that we used. I actually took it off of the hose link on our 2-pig, or our 2-nipple feeder, or waterer rather. One of the issues with this is that if you're using above ground hoses, the formation of algae, especially if you're using well water, formation of algae and algae growth actually get caught in a filter that is on the back side of the nipple. There's a filter screen there to keep large particles from clogging up the waterer. The problem with that, and you're not going to be able to see very well, but it's actually caused a clog in my hose or in my watering system. So right in here, there's algae that has grown and caused a clog. It's vital that pigs are able to get the correct amount of water that they need. So you have to actually go out and check daily that your watering system is working. All right, so this is the finished product. Our hose is going to come in here. You can see the correct way to mount this. Now, these are spring loaded. The spring closes the valve, and when they bite on it, it's like a hamster wheel, or they push on it, or they manipulate this nipple in any way, the water will flow out. There's a good distance between the two. That's intentional so that pigs don't push each other out of the way while they're trying to get their drink. And again, it's high enough off the ground that baby pigs can drink, but large pigs can also drink. All right, so I'm out here. I'm out here in the pig field, or just outside the pig field. Got the new waterer set up. The pigs have been without water for a few hours today, while I was getting their new waterer set up. So they're a little bit dramatic right now, but I'll flip this around, show you guys how we do the water here, and you'll be able to see, if you've never seen one of these water systems before, you'll be able to see how it works. So let me flip you around and show you how it works. All right, so the white fence is our electric pig fence. You can see that the waterer is connected with the hose. It runs through, splits. I didn't use pool noodle this time for the installation. I used electric tape, and that seems to be working very well. The only thing I'll have to look for is to make sure they don't bite through the electrical tape, where the electric fence will be able to arc and touch the water, because they'll get shocked that way. So you can see that some of them are drinking water out of the nipples. Some of them are drinking it off the floor. I'm not sure if that's something they do every day, because they're usually not this crowded around the water like they are right now. But again, they've been without water for a couple hours. It was pretty sunny out. So here are the pigs.